Okay, welcome back to another Vintage League here, and today we are trying another version of Raker Shops. The last time we played Raker Shops on this channel, we played a blue Raker Shops, and that went pretty well. A nice 4-1 league if you want to check that one out. We kept basically most of the shell here, you know, the Scrawling Crawlers, Nettlecyst, the Fleshraker, Automaton. It's a very aggro-focused deck, but with some like of the power blue cards, you know, Time Walk, Recall. In the main, and we put some. We don't have enough blue cards for Force of Will, but we put some Mind Break traps in the main and Sink in the Stupors, and a few other cards in there. That was a nice league there if you want to play the Raker style deck, but have some interaction turn 0 and some power as well. Was kind of the idea of that one. This time though, we're trying white because there were a lot of new cards in the Tarkir Dragonstorm set that were pretty good, and I've been trying them in different shells and. Sort of ran out of ideas, so we're gonna try Raker Shops with some of the new cards, and it's a little bit dubious, but we're gonna give it a go here. So the core idea here is that, you know, Raker Shops, I guess we'll go over the deck in a bit. If you're not familiar with Raker Shops, it's a aggro combo deck. So we've got things like, we'll get to the Voice of Victory in a second. That's the addition here. Raker Shops is all colorless normally. So the idea is you'll have cards like Nettlecyst, which gets really big for your artifacts. Patchwork, which gets really big when you cast artifacts after it. Ton of fast mana. As far as this, you know, aggro plan goes, you can just beat down really quickly. You've also got Glaring Fleshraker, which whenever you cast any of your colorless artifacts in the deck, you get a token, you deal a damage, which can add up quickly and help to ramp. And then you've got two tops, two Sensei Divining tops, and Glaring Fleshraker is just a win. So you keep just looping your top. So you play a top, and that makes a Scion deal the damage. You crack the Scion to play your second top. That makes another Scion deals a damage. Then you draw a card with top, to put, and then you draw the other top to get top back into your hand. To play the top, you just keep looping them. That's two of these, and a Fleshraker is just a win. And then top's pretty good on its own. Fleshraker pretty good on its own for damage and mana. You've got Scrawling Crawler as both an engine and a quick clock. So this hits for 5 damage a turn. So you can play this turn 1 off of Mishra's Workshop. Then your opponent draws a card during their turn. They take a damage. On your turn, you both draw a card that take another damage. And then Crawler swings for 3. So it does 5 damage a turn cycle. It can be played turn 1 pretty easily. So very strong card, and it keeps you going. It also deals damage through the ring since it's not, it's a lose life, so pretty good. The tops can also work with cards like Manifold Key. So you draw with the top, you untap it with the key, and response you draw again. So you get 2 draws off the top, which is pretty cool. Tops work with the Time Vault for Infinite Turns combo. We got our one of restricted Lodestone Golem. That's another aggro piece. One of Mystic Forge restricted. This can act as a 5th top with Glaring Fleshraker. Is also just extremely strong in this deck as an engine card. All your fast mana here, and then also Mana Vault, Soul Ring, Vexing Bauble, just as our one of restricted one, and 3 Soul Rings. So in order to fit the white cards in the deck, and because I don't have, so this deck plays like 3 or 4 Grim Monoliths and 3 City of Traders too, normally. So we're trimming down on the fast mana here, which is, you know, potentially a little suspect. But it worked in the other version. But I think, you know, I think we cut the rings from the other deck though. So I think having the rings in here may be a little suspect. They might just be too high on the curve, but we will see. But in order to make room for our white cards, we cut some Grim Monoliths and some cities. So the Portable Hull is one of the main white cards we're including. This can hit things like Null Rod and Collector Oof, which can be problems for this deck, as well as just random stuff like Orcish Bonemaster and Psychic Frog, which can also be scary. And we've got a Voice of Victory. So this is the first new and main Tarkir Dragonstorm card we're trying. The idea is you can play a Mox and a White Source on turn 1, then Voice of Victory. This is a pretty fast clock, you know, 3 damage, because mobilize 2 for the creatures. But also your opponents can't cast spells during your turn, so you can do all of your, you know, top Fleshraker combo stuff, or play the One Ring protected. So the idea is we get a Voice of Victory down early, then we can start playing our scarier stuff and combo out protected. But we'll see how that goes. The big problem with this is the Raker doesn't really have a problem with doing its thing. It's where it kind of loses ground is against decks like Doomsday and, you know, Oops All Spells. Kind of these like really fast combo decks that are going to goldfish faster. Raker can goldfish very fast. They have a lot of fast mana and powerful cards, quick in combos and fast beatdown. But there are decks that goldfish, you know, faster than it on average. And this doesn't help us. This actually does the opposite. It slows us down and probably makes us worse against some of those faster combo decks. But maybe the idea is, and we are stretching here, the idea is maybe against the control decks like Lurrus Control, which is starting to adapt to Raker, and with Raker's the top deck for a while now. They're starting to adapt with cards like Serenity and Null Rod. Maybe this kind of an effect could help Raker now adapt to the, you know, the control decks, you know, spending more time and focus on it. But we will see. But this does slow us down a bit, unlike which may be a concern, and it's something we're going to look at in this league. And of course, we've also got the ring, just really powerful, and you can untap it with the Manifold Key. I think that covers the main deck. The mana base is a little wonky. So in the blue version of this deck that I put together, we had Underground Sea from a month ago. And why I wanted to do that was, this is basically, these kind of lands are basically dual lands that can tap for white and colorless, and the other deck blue and colorless. Because Glaring Fleshraker needs a colorless mana, right? You need colorless mana in order to cast Glaring Fleshraker, but we want in this deck white mana to cast Voice of Victory, Portable Home, and some of the sideboard cards we'll get to. I think that covers it. So yeah, this is basically a dual land for colorless and white. Saga Academy, we're putting 2 planes in the deck for more white sources. These probably could be Underground Seas to kind of... The Caves can also, 2 of them, or 1 in a, you know, a Jet, cast the ley lines. There's probably a case for 1 out, you know. But this, and also we're against mono white initiative. We can steal the initiative, get a plane, so I think I'm okay with this. Mishra's Workshop, of course. Ancient Tomb, of course. And then 1 Abstergo Entertainment is legendary, but it can also make white and colorless, and also it's sort of graveyard hate and can get back an artifact in our graveyard that gets countered or blown up. So I think this one's pretty good. I like this one as a 1 of quite a bit. This is from the Assassin's Creed set. I think that covers all the main deck stuff. Sideboard, we've got Graveyard Hate here. And now we're trying... So, with the white splash here, since we are slowing this deck down a little bit, and making us potentially weaker some of the combo decks, we're going to try and sideboard pretty heavily, kind of a pivot against the combo deck. So, Clarion Conqueror and Archon of Emeria are 2 of the best cards in the game against all of the combo decks that are out and about right now. Archon's, you know, probably the best card in mono white initiative. This one is you can't cast more than 1 spell a turn. That really stops a lot of the Beseech, you know, Lurrus Breach, Lurrus PO, Oops type decks in the format. It's pretty good against Doomsday too. If you cast Dark Ritual as your only spell, then Doomsday is not getting cast, so this does a lot of work. And then the other one, this is the other new Tarkir Dragonstorm card we're trying in Clarion Conqueror. This one has activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated, so also pretty good against a lot of the combo decks. So that's what we're going for here. Obviously these kind of hit us too. So we're going to be trying to board out some of the artifacts with abilities here. Just keep the things like Nettlecyst, Crawler, Automaton that don't really need to tap, that can get kind of beat down, Voice of Victory, that just kind of beat down in combination with the Hate Bears, and try and transition to more of a mono white initiative style deck post board here against some of the combo matchups. Now, our graveyard hate is very pointed, our sideboard is very pointed against Dredge, Bazaar and a lot of the fast mana artifact combo decks, and as well as Doomsday. At least with Archon of Emiria for Doomsday. Clarion's not super good against it, but it does something. But anyway, we're not really playing any other removal. We got 2 Portable Holes main deck. There probably should be swords in here somewhere. But I'm hoping that our main deck is good enough against the non-combo decks that are, we don't really need the sideboard for those matchups. Maybe that's bold. So we'll see after the league if that was too bold. But that's kind of the idea here. We're running out of spots. Yeah, so anyway, if you're still here, subscribe, please. That's really appreciated to try and grow the channel. And then if you got time, a like and throw a comment down below now, or during the video and you got a question or an idea. Always happy to hear, and always helps the algorithm, I think, to get comments to promote the video, and I'll see you in round 1. Alright, here we go. Give this a whirl. Keep that. We got Lurrus. Underground Sea. Okay. Let's go for our most aggressive start here. We can't get the voice down right away, so we're going to go for a Scrawly Crawler. Alright, they've got a Lorien, that's fine. Okay, we got some choices here. I don't think they've got an orc, because if they had an orc, they could have just played it in our upkeep, ping the crawler, drawn ping the crawler. Which makes me think, what do they have? Oh wait, that was the wrong land. Okay, screwed that up. That was a punt. I was planning on playing the One Ring. Gonna grudge it, sure. All right, so that was an oopsie. Jeez. Crypt, sure. Gifts. Stock up. Stock up. Yep, that's fine. Sure. So I think we're dead. Blue for recall. Yeah, that seems good. Yep. We're gonna get breached here. Yeah, that'll kill us. Alright. We are against the Grixis Breach deck. So I want our Archons, the Plains, and the Clarion Conqueror, and at least one of these. It's kind of like their side plan. I don't... Yeah. I guess we want both of them. What don't we want? The Nettlecyst seem quite bad. I don't think the portable holes really do anything. Don't love the keys. Maybe they're not going super fast. I'm not sure if we actually need the cages, especially on the play, for bringing in all this hate. Maybe cut a Raker. Alright, let's give this a whirl. I don't actually know how they sideboard against us, so we shall see. Yeah, that seems fine. Let's see what they got. Alright, we both keep. We're going to start with the bauble. See if that gets forced and go from there. Force of negation, pitching a probe. Okay. Alright, play a top. And we'll spin the top. Next turn we can have 4 mana. I guess we could draw the Fleshraker, draw with top Voice of Victory, play the Raker, play the top. That gets us 1 mana. We can't actually play both though. Interesting. I think we do want the Raker. Fair enough. Play our planes here. They got 3 cards left. Let's see what they do. Yep. We don't need mana. I think we want to get the voice down. They still have a lot of counter magic. Alright, voice. A victory. Are you going to drain voice of victory? Just gonna force a will voice of victory. Jeez. Okay. I don't know if we really want to give him Scrawling Crawler, if that's gonna be. Maybe we do. Ugh. I don't know if this is the right play. You got a Bowmaster? Got a Brain Freeze. Okay. That was pretty effective. Let's look at our top here. And let's hide this for now. Alright, let's see what our Lodestone Golem can get done. I think I want to... Okay, we're frozen here. I think I want to bring in a Grafdigger's Cage if we're allowed to. Lower our curve a bit on the draw, but we're frozen right now and can't actually sideboard. we're gonna wait here because I would like to bring in one of the cages. If we can get it off the Saga, we can draw it. It's kind of like having 2 cages. I think that's worth it. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get that opportunity. We're pretty frozen right now. So this is all great. If we was I'm gonna take out the Time Vault and bring in the cage. Yeah, Time Vault definitely. We take out. All right, we took out both the Manifold Keys. That was dumb, and kept in the Time Vault. So please let me take out the Time Vault. Oh jeez, oh boy, didn't even realize that. Come on, let me take out the Time Vault. Color. Please let me take this out. Oh jeez. I should not have this stupid Time Vault in here. Come on, come on. I want a sideboard. Hey. You. Yes. Ah, fuck. No. We're gonna draw the Time Vault for sure, right? With, yeah, of course. Alright, well, it's a mulligan anyway, but, yeah. Okay. Keep. I think for this hand, we're just going to try and jam stuff. That's a good Mox from them. I'll try and get patches down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. Black, red, demonic. Sure. That's a recall. Mm-hmm. You got it. All right, so I think we try and bait with the Raker, see if it gets through. Maybe I should have just gone for the Conqueror right away. They didn't force anything, which means they've got action, so we could just be dead here for sure. Yep. Regret maybe not just trying to jam the Clarion. We can't get double white. But Archon doesn't turn off our own stuff, so that might be the better one. They got like hard cast Force of Will. This is tough. Okay, so we're gonna draw on our upkeep. That gets us a token we can play. I guess. So they almost certainly have counter magic, right? So that's a problem. I guess we could go Crawler, make a token, then play Archon, because that gets us the mana for it. I think we got to go for it. They can just hardcast Force here, so that's a problem for us. Yeah. We got gifts. Okay. Wish we had 2 white to be able to do the Voice of Victor. I think our white count might be too low. So this one, search your library up to 4 cards. Target opponent chooses 2 of them. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard. I have a hard time believing we're not just dead on the spot here, but we'll see. Alright, so they've got Lightning Bolt, which can bounce the Archon. but not right now. They've got Chain of Vapor. It'd force a will it. I don't know what to do here. We can... So they've already cast one spell this turn, so they have to wait till their turn if they're going to do... stuff. Yeah, I got 3 cards that can answer it. I'm not sure what the right play. There is a right play, but we'll see. And they force it. That's fine. That's expected. Maybe I should have given them the lightning then. Probably dead here. I mean, I assume. White. Yep. Blue. Merchant Scroll. Short. Consign to memory. Let's draw. All right. Let's try top. Let's try and swing. Got a grudge. Okay. Draw. Play the Academy. I've got the Consign. So that gets countered. We play this, doesn't really stop them from killing us, so we'll play this one. Alright, now let's see what they do. Hey, we got there. Good match. Close one. Alright, here we go. It's a tough one. We got a Miharu, boy, with Lurrus. If we were on the play, I'd be very tempted to keep this. On the draw, though, I don't think this does anything for us. Yeah, I guess. Keep. I think I do want the Voice of Victory, actually, so I think I'm going to put back the second Patchwork. Depending on what they're going with here, we might just want to try and see if this is combo or control. I think that's the big question right now. Alright, so do we want to just go for the voice? I think we do. They might counter this, which would be interesting. Alright, well that certainly makes the ring worse. And then they also forced it, okay. Pitching force of will. I think we just pass. I think I want to save the ring, the top for patches. This card seems good against me. Not sure how I feel about that. Patchwork. Top. top. Could really use a portable hull right about now. That is a good card against us. Portable hull, please. Or do we just want to draw? Oh boy. That's not great against these guys either, is it? I think we play this for now. Important to note here, we can't combo off through the orcs, even if we find a Raker. Yep. So we've got a draw, and then we can look for a, oh boy. Yeah, oh boy. Alright, let's spin top. Well, they're not the cards we need. I can start buying Lurrus and rebuying the Momentum Breaker, so I think we're in trouble here. We got a blocker, something, I guess. Not really. Yep. That's a problem. I think we're just dead. We're gonna take 3 here. Our Ancient Tomb. They can wasteland like, yeah, that, exactly. I'm not sure why I'm still playing, but I'm gonna play a little more, I guess. So we know we're drawing a top, and we've got 2. We know our top 3 is top, caves, caves. which is not good. And they just resolved a bunch of stuff there. Yeah, I'm gonna say we lost that one. Okay. Oh boy. We have a really bad graveyard. We have a really bad sideboard plan for this matchup. The goal is that the main deck would be pretty good against them, but Scrawling Crawler is not very good against them. Well, this gets killed by orcs, and the Conqueror at least shuts down Psychic Frog, sort of. A couple asterisks there. This just seems abysmal. Okay, we're gonna give this a whirl. I don't love it. Probably should have some swords on the sideboard. Sure, I guess. Going to 6. Probably looking for, I don't know, Null Rod Serenity kind of things, maybe. Or maybe just like a not ideal hand for them. Alright, let's start with our Raker here. Try and make some mana off of this guy. Do they want to force this guy? Nope. I think we do want that, so we're going to pass. Alright, we can F6 now. They know our hand. They're probably wondering why the fuck we have Clarion Conqueror in our deck. And the answer to that is, I think Scrawling Crawler is probably a little worse. We should not have Clarion Conqueror in our deck. No siree. Alright. Hey, we got a flip. Can we play this? No. I think we cast the Fleshraker first to make the token. Alright. We got game 2. Okay. Wild. Maybe they actually play around that now. I think we bring it out. These should be like these swords. The deck should probably be reconfigured to have some swords in it. That would be helpful. If you play this, add some swords to the deck somewhere, like at least 2. Ridiculous. Alright, so we're on the draw with a slower hand, admittedly. We have a lot of good draws, especially in the mana department. They're mulliganing, and we have an answer to orcs. So it's not a great keep. Yeah, is this a keep? Ugh. Ugh. I don't know. It's really close. Like this could go very badly, but I am gonna keep it. Like any sort of artifact mounted to cast Nettlecyst or a Ancient Tomb or a Workshop, those are all really good draws here, so I think it's okay. But I don't love it. It's bad when your opponent mulligans to 5 and you still feel like you're an underdog in the matchup. So I feel like regular Raker is just favored against your opponents here. So I definitely don't think I've improved this matchup. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Oh shit. Okay. I think we want to use our portable hole here. Oh, they got the force. Okay. We are in trouble. Yeah, that's a good play. We need a land here. No, we don't have it. Alright, we can just be dead here. They get another 2 draws. Ah, it's... Can't believe that. I mean, I can. We knew we were soft to Wasteland, but... I'm getting Lurrus. Yep. Okay. Mishra's Workshop off the top, please. No! Okay. Ugh. Alright. Yeah, I think any mana source in the last 2 draws and we'd be fine, but they can't just let them draw 4 cards. That force of will to stop the portable hole was brutal. Okay. Now we're dead. Okay. We needed our land before all this stuff happened. Oh, okay. We got a plains, huh? We'll give it one more turn, I guess. Yeah, I guess I should have mulliganed. Fair enough. You can yell at me in the comments. Just let me know if you would have mulliganed that one. Yeah, we're dead. Alright, good game. Okay, we're on the draw here. See, this is another hand where I don't know if I keep this, right? So we have a draw, we have a turn 1 automaton, but then if we get wastelanded, we're in a ton of trouble. So I mulligan this, I guess. I think that's... Oh, jeez. This is bad, too, but I think we keep it. And hope to draw a Mox. And I don't think we go to 5 off of this, but... Sure. Wasteland Soul Guide Lantern. Alright, let's see if this gets through. I think we want to get the Voice of Victory first, so I'm just going to pass here. Okay. Not sure what's going on over there. They found a jet. Probably gets them stuff. Some stuff. Blue, white. Play a Voice of Victory. Okay, with Ponder going. So if they waste us, we're down a mana. So I think I am going to play the Raker here. To be able to try and get a 3-drop down. That way, if they waste us, we can still do stuff. Works, sure. Alright, so it's just blue-black Lurrus control with a weird start. Okay. Okay. There's a decent draw. They can get their Lurrus now. Oh, they got a Psychic Frog. That's bad for us. Let's see. I think we have to try and get lucky. I think we play the Raker. Don't want to attack. They can activate. Discard it. They could blow it up basically with the token frog discard. So they're representing that they can ping our voice and grow it, so we're just going to let them let it go. Yep. Sure. I think we're just dead here. I'm curious how normal Raker, without the additions we've got here, beats Lurrus control, because I'm pretty sure that they do have normal, no white, you know, without the modifications here, has a favorable matchup. We're getting solidly beaten up here, so. Alright. So we can randomly draw a Time Vault, I guess. I think we got to keep it back as a blocker. Feel like I should not have attacked before. That was a little silly, but I kind of thought I was just dead, but we do have draw Manifold Key. We've got 2 Manifold Keys in the deck, and if we don't die exactly this turn, right now, we can find a Manifold Key. Oh no, but the Psychic Frog, if they make Psychic Frog, yeah, they can make Psychic Frog fly and bin. Are they gonna make it fly? Yeah. Yeah, so they can just kill us here. No, they chose not to kill us. That's fine. Alright, so they chose not to kill us, so that means we can draw Manifold Key. And they can't do anything about it because of Voice of Victory. So, Manifold Key. No. Patchwork. Okay. Alright. Next game. So again, we do not really consider the fact that against blue-black Lurrus control, we really need to board out the Scrawling Crawlies. So I definitely want to plains. I think we just leave them in, though. I don't think Clarion Conqueror is actually the better... Maybe it is. It does shut down the stupid frog. No, it probably is, because it does shut down the frog. They're probably... We're losing games to frog. That's what keeps killing us out of this deck. I like this theory more. If you're watching at home there, let me know how you would board, though. Curious. The problem we were running into is the Orcish Bowmasters is really good against this, and the Voice of Victory does absolutely nothing to try and deal with the onboard permanents that are kind of a problem here, so... That, I think, is the key takeaway I've seen so far. We'll see. Alright. Okay, I don't love it, but I do think it's a keep. Oh boy. Lotus start. Okay. Alright. Maybe I should have just played the Tomb. Yeah, now I regret that. Maybe I should have just played the Tomb. They have double Wasteland, then we get punished here. Oh yeah, we get punished here. Alright, well that was silly. I should not have done that. Well, that's not a bad spot. They hard cast days. Okay, fair enough. Oh, and they've got a recall. Okay. We have invested. Oh jeez. Okay. Okay. We got hit by Wasteland, Strip Mine in the top 14 here. That is tough. Alright, well, we're not out of it yet. We have fancy lands that could, in theory, bail us out. I guess they just have orcs. I don't know. I'm just gonna play it. Orcs, yep. I mean, we just start passing, the Saga token ends up just killing us. We gotta try and get this down. I'm not sure why we did it then. We could just did it end of their turn though. That was a little. I'm very done with this game. I'm very done with this. I mean, is there like anything that matters? I don't know. You just don't have enough. This brings us to 5. That seems bad. Oh, we got spell pierced. Okay. I guess we're just gonna not technically screw because we could draw. If we don't die next turn, no, we exactly die. Yeah. Okay. 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 Here we go again. We're on the play this time. Okay, we're gonna keep. Now, how the heck do we sequence this, right? I don't know. Three, 4, 5, 6 mana. We don't know what our opponent's on. Let's see if this gets a force. It does. I think we just go aggressive here and play the double patchworks. We gotta play next turn. See what they do. I'm gonna grow our guy. Try and aggro them. See what happens. Alright, well that didn't work at all. Okay, we're dead. So, and I guess we move this to 5. It's a 7/7, right? So, if we put it over here, you would get, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'd be 7/7. It'd swing. He doesn't block. I think we're dead, but we're going to let them do the combat math. Yeah, because you have vigilance and they can just go back up to 15 right away, so. I don't think there's any draw here that does anything really. even Manifold Key won't, which would let us attack unblockable, doesn't get us out of this. Alright, that's had enough. Alright, we'll bring in some cages. I guess these creatures do nothing of relevance. Nettlecyst can go, maybe 2 Nettlecysts, I guess. I don't know. Let's give this a whirl. I mean, we've got answers to stuff, but then if our opponent plays show and tell, or just finds it, or it just feels too slow, right? Like, yes, we can answer Oath of Druids, and if their entire plan is Oath of Druids, then maybe, but I don't know, maybe we do have to keep it and just hope that their whole plan is Oath of Druids. If their whole plan is Oath of Druids and they fight over that, then we could potentially do something here. We can find a soul ring off this, so it's not nothing. But yeah, if they just go show and tell again, we die horribly. Show and tell. Okay. Oh, time walk. Sure. Oh yeah, Mistride's Village. We played this in Oath in our league. Oko's a problem. We cannot portable hull Oko. Okay. Let's see what they get here. Oh, that's bad for us. Sure. Actually, maybe we should have held that, because I didn't find it. If they didn't, now they can Oko it. If they, if we would have held it, There's a world where they don't find a Force of Will, they don't elk Fleshraker, and then they have the removal anyway. Okay, it didn't matter. But this finds a top, so we had a... I don't think we can beat this. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think we have any outs to this. Yeah, we'll scoop it up. Next round. Okay, here we go. I mean, it's a keep, I think, but I don't love it. Oh, shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're in trouble. Scrawling Crawler. Alright. We got our own Scrawling Crawler. We need mana though. I feel like I messed up the mana in this deck. I think that is the core problem. Okay. That is not great for us. Fuck. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Ugh. Maybe I should be mulling hands that just don't have enough mana. Maybe I'm just not using the right heuristics here. We did trim the mana, obviously, in the deck. We're not playing City of Traders. We're not playing Grim Monolith, which are both in the main Raker Shops deck. The Grim Monoliths for the plains, and then we just lowered the curve a little bit with the Grims, but I think that just might not be okay. The last time we played this, we went up 4-1 with the blue Raker Shops, and that was... Okay, sure. What we got? Yeah, we're done. Okay, that was disastrous. I want the plains. Nothing else, I guess. We don't want the voice. That's just useless. We're not hitting the matchup spreads we want here. Maybe it's just not the right time to run this deck, I'm thinking. I mean, I guess, but again, this is not amazing. I guess I should have sequenced this differently. I could have, I don't know. Nah, it's fine. Just wait, no. Fuck. We want the Saga next draw. We can upkeep reorder them. It's just silly. Down, 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 and then we will draw. Sure. You got it, champ. We're in trouble though, because we got, you know, what do they got here? Colorless shot. Yes. Sure. What do you want to do? Please hit our workshop. That would be wonderful. No, they don't want to hit the workshop. They want to play a big scary thing. Okay, I got another Goddess. That's not great for us. That means we have to pay this. We can't pay our... Can't play this next turn. This turn. Well, curious how they're paying for this. Yes. I think we just don't want to attack, right? See what they get. Just gonna F6 through here. Nothing we can really do. Alright, do they got something for us? 4 mana. Looks like they do. They can double wasteland us, so they can only save 1 creature, and that's bad. Alright, you got a Stone Coil Serpent. You're hitting a wasteland. You're hitting a wasteland. No. 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 Yes. Alright, and we'll play a workshop. Alright, so if we swing, they have to block. I think it's worse for us. I think we just sit tight. See what they do. They get a wasteland here, then we're dead. Oh, yeah, fuck. They're dead. Alright. Okay. Yeah, fine. Okay. We can play it, then we die. Okay. Alright, so that was a disaster of a league, obviously. Especially going 1-0 into 1-4, that makes it especially frustrating. Give you a little bit of hope at the beginning, and then no, the deck's actually not particularly good. Alright, so biggest thing I think is we should have had Swords of Plowshares in the deck. That came up in at least 3 of the matchups where I really would have liked to have swords. I put the 2 portable holes in as like answers to both Null Rod and some of the smaller creatures. And like the one time that against Mahara, we actually would have won a match against if they didn't have the force on the frog there with the portable hole. But they did, and then they, drew a bunch of cards and, ran away with the game. But I think, if now I don't think this. We'll get to this in a second, but I think if you were going to try and play a white Raker Shops deck, I think you would want some Swords to Plowshares in there. So, to recap, we beat the Lurrus Gifts Breach. We lost to Lurrus Control twice, lost to Oath, and then lost to Sphere Shops. Now, in the 2 Raker matchups, the 2 Lurrus Control matchups and the Sphere Shops matchup, I would want swords. I think at least 2 to 4 swords somewhere in the 75. I think it's the first thing I'd be looking at trying to change here. The bigger thing though is the deck, we just got demolished. We didn't really get demolished. Like the game against Mahara, could have gone either way, it was very close. But the other match against Lurrus Control was pretty bad. But this is supposed to be a really good matchup for Raker. I mean, the big reason to play Raker originally was because it could beat, or have a pretty good matchup against Lurrus Control. So since Lord of the Rings dropped, we got Orcs, we got Lorien Reveal, and since that era, Lurrus Control, for the vast majority of the time, has been the top deck in Vintage. In Raker Shops, a lot of the popularity and a lot of the reason why it was doing well and caught on was because it was a non-Lurrus deck that actually had a pretty good matchup against against Lurrus Control. And we seem to have lost that here. The voice of victories, as we saw in those 2 matchups, they don't stop, Orcish bow matches, which is still a problem against us. They don't do anything about Null Rod. They don't do anything about a big Psychic Frog running away with the game and drawing a bunch of cards. It just doesn't do enough in that matchup. Yeah, it stops some of the counter spells, but that obviously just wasn't good enough. And then our sideboard just is very slanted against combo. Because I thought the main deck was okay against the non-combo decks. And I was wrong. we are not good against the non-combo decks in the main. Not enough. I think a lot of that's probably just because since the last time we played Blue Raker a month ago and did well with that, we got a 4-1. I think people have finally adjusted to Raker and figured out how to play against it, how to build their decks, etc. So I think our opponents are ready, and we didn't respect it. Our main deck just isn't good enough for that. So I think that has to be adjusted. Some of the non-combo decks, the Sphere Shops, the opposing Raker decks, the Lurrus Control. We need mono white probably. We need more removal here. If we're going to dip into white, the big reason to do that is Swords to Plowshares. That's the first thing I would do. The Oath matchup I just think is abysmal. We even have stuff for the matchup. We got main deck portable holes, sideboard Graph Diggers, cages. But we just got demolished still. I don't think there's a ton that we can do to change that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there is. I don't know. But I know the Sphere Shops has a really awful matchup against Show and Oath. I don't know about Raker. I assume Raker still has a pretty bad matchup against Showing Oath, even with the combo element to it. So I'm not too worried about that. And Oath is kind of a fringe player anyway. But I think the two Lurrus controls and the Sphere Shops matchup, both seeming pretty bad, I think was a concern. Now, in order to play the deck how we did, we cut three not Grim Monoliths. We cut three City of Traders to try and build out this package. We trimmed a ring. We trimmed three Grim Monoliths to lower the curve here, to fit in the victories and the portable holes. I think we lost some of the explosiveness. Now this strategy worked the last time we played the blue version of the deck. We went 4-1. The deck worked pretty well. And I have to go back and look at that because that version, slimming down on some of the fast mana, still worked quite well. But it's probably because we weren't putting in like defensive pieces here. We were boarding in a lot of things like Time Walk, Ancestral Recall too, in the blue version. So I think that's just something to consider. I mean, this probably just doesn't work, right? And I'm glad I tried it, but I think I can safely say that at least in this configuration, the white Raker Shops deck just doesn't work. I think Swords is the obvious thing to include if you were going to try this. I think it's pretty far from playable at the moment, unfortunately. Even adding that obvious card in that could be good here. Yeah, let me know what you think. You got any ideas here? Let me know. If you're still here, throw a subscribe. That's really appreciated to try and grow the channel a little bit. And like and comment, as well down below for engagement and whatnot. That's always appreciated too. And see you next time.